What is happening, guys and gals? Joe Badger here, your money mentor, where we have deep pockets and short arms, and where I help you with my nearly 40 years of experience with money, investing, and business. So we have some money lessons for today. These are lessons that I've learned over the years, and I had wished I'd learned some of them a lot earlier, and were able to put into practice a long time ago. But really, that is the purpose of this video, after all, is to impart that knowledge onto you so you don't have to go through the learning curve. And as far as the actual lessons go, some of them you may have heard of, but there are many of them that I'm sure you have not, especially you haven't heard my personal take on things. So if you like this sort of thing, make sure you give me that big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we have a lot more coming and you do not want to miss out. I am building this channel brick by brick for your benefit, and so that you can learn some very valuable money lessons. Also, I want you to stick around until the end because I have an excellent resource, a money resource that you definitely need to know about. Also, I'm saving one bonus lesson for the end. So what do you think, Money Badgers? Let's go for it. This channel has some core values, and it starts off with the tagline, deep pockets and short arms. In other words, I love to make money and I hate to spend it. But there are three main tenets worth talking about. First of all, number one is don't put all your eggs in one basket. Number two, Rome wasn't built in a day. In other words, patience. And three, take profits and enjoy that hard-earned money. Which takes us into lesson number one. Know yourself. Are you a saver, a spender, or an investor? Each of us is either one of these important things, and it may take you some time to realize which one you are, or you may know immediately like that. The funny thing is, this is really determined early on in your life. For example, I come from a very big family, and I have a couple of nephews, and I remember years ago when they were about 5 or so, very early on, 4 or 5, I remember their mother saying, you know, this one, he's a spender. He can't hold on to a penny for a moment. Whereas this other one, he's always about somehow getting money and holding on to it, saving it. So in many regards, a lot of us, this is determined early on. And it's very important that you know this about yourself, because going forward, this will really guide you in life, especially on your journey to wealth building. In fact, if you have a partner, a spouse, or a loved one who is the exact opposite of you, well, good luck, because many times you're always just kind of butting heads, and that doesn't work out. But if you know yourself, if you have that self-awareness, know what you are, a spender, a saver, investor, and this will affect you with everything else down the line. This lesson to learn is also a money habit of the wealthy. There are 4 things that the wealthy are always doing. They are always earning, saving, investing, and spending wisely. When you are earning, well, that's your job. That's a dependable and steady income coming in that helps you pay for your bills. When you save, that's the excess money that you have from either living below your means or just making a conscious effort to put some of your income aside. A great percentage is 20, 25, 30% if you can. And then investing is taking your savings, that hard-earned money, and making it work for you. It's seeing that money grow over time with the power of compound interest that Einstein said was another wonder of the world, and watching that nest egg grow. And then spending wisely. We all have to spend, let's face it, and we all will spend. But do we spend wisely? Do we think about our expenses, or do we just impulsively spend? Did you know that the longer you delay a purchase, the less likely you will actually make that purchase, whether it's for a day or several days or several weeks? The more you delay, especially a very large purchase, the less likely that you will make it. So here we are, a lesson of what wealthy people do, their habits on a regular basis, is that they are always earning, saving, investing, and when they spend wisely and thoughtfully, not impulsively. I don't think we can have a proper discussion about money lessons if we don't talk about cars. Cars are a huge part of most of all of our lives, and they are big ticket items that go down in value. And if they are not managed right over a lifetime, they will drain us of our hard-earned money. Cars will have expenses at the buying point. They will have expenses if you finance them, and they will have expenses when they are regularly maintained. And there are a lot of lessons that could help minimize all of these expenses. Number one, if you're going to buy used. This is definitely the smarter option. Now, you might think that this is just an opinion, but it's actually backed up by data and research that even multimillionaires prefer to buy used cars because they know that they are a depreciating asset, unlike the home, for example, that appreciates in value. Also, when you buy, if you can, preferably the best thing is to buy in cash and not finance the car over a long period of time, like 5 years. That will also drain you of your money. Repairs are another thing that will drain you of your money. As we all know, cars are very expensive to repair. I came across this lesson at some point in my life, and I realized that I really have to cut down on the expenses that cars bring in regularly. So I found the Scotty Kilmer YouTube channel, and it's not only for gearheads, but it's for those who want to learn a lot about cars, and especially about buying value and learning about cars that are lower in maintenance or will cost you lower prices in maintenance. Also, cars that will last a long time. On the channel, Scotty's regularly talking about cars that have over 200, 300, 400,000 miles on them and last a long time. Another great thing on the channel to learn is what not to buy, just as important. A great rule of thumb to go by when you're purchasing a car is to make sure that it's a small percentage of your yearly income. For example, if you make $50,000 a year and your car is worth $50,000, well, that just doesn't make sense. Ideally, you want it to be a much smaller percentage of your overall income that you bring in. Another great lesson is to keep that car regularly maintained and do not neglect that. Why? Because oil in the engine, for example, is very cheap. But an engine that has blown is very expensive. $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 just for an engine alone. But that can be prevented by some simple regular maintenance, such as an oil change. When we talk about cars, we need to know that these are big expenses in our daily lives, but we can manage them with good research and good knowledge. All right, this next lesson, I don't know if you're really going to want to hear it, but here it goes, because it is really based in reality, and that is that building wealth actually takes discipline, sacrifice, and hard work. Now, we've all heard those get-rich-quick overnight stories, or some exception to the rule, and those are fun to hear, for me, for everybody, because it's the dream, right? Well, I don't have to work for it. I don't have to sacrifice for it. I don't have to have discipline. I can be lazy and become rich and wealthy and secure. Well, that may happen every once in a while, just like a hole-in-one on the golf course may happen once in a while, but it's really not the standard. So keep in mind that money and wealth all comes in time. You have to be patient. Once again, going back to one of our tenets that Rome was not built in a day. Here's another lesson that may surprise you. It's that people who become wealthy don't do so from handouts or gifts or assistance. They don't receive huge gifts from wealthy parents or other people. As a matter of fact, they actually work for it themselves. And when they have to work for it, that's when they realize, and that's when they're motivated to work even harder and achieve even more. In fact, the exact opposite has actually been found, that people who actually get gifts, get assistance, are given money, are given things, those people actually accumulate less wealth over a lifetime. So remember, when people don't give you something such as family, friend, community, job, that's a good sign. I have an amazing resource for you, as well as a bonus lesson. First of all, the resource. This is the book, The Millionaire Next Door by Dr. Thomas Stanley, written originally in 1997, where he profiled America's millionaires and how they made it rich. And they were surprising secrets because they apply to everybody and not to the small percentage of people at the top, whether it's lifestyle or finance or job or simple money habits from day to day. The book is a font of knowledge and a great resource for now and going forward in your life. And as far as that bonus goes, remember what we talked about when we said that the wealthy are always doing four things, and that is earning, saving, investing, and spending wisely. Well, there's actually a fifth thing that they're always doing, and that is they are giving. They're involved in charity in some way. And I know you're going to say, well, how does me giving my money away help me to accumulate wealth? I don't really know the answer to that, but I know this for sure, that it is somehow intrinsically linked, and that people who make a lot of money know that there's a humanistic element to it, that givers gain. So it's very fascinating to know that charity is actually a wealth building tool in the end. So that is it. But you know what? Do the lessons, do they really ever end? I think not. You know, money is very important in our lives, but I can think of a lot of things that are actually much more important. That is good health, a loving family, friends and faith, a good reputation, integrity, etc. I think you get the point. If you like this, do me a favor, hit that little thumb that kind of looks like this. Also subscribe. We have a lot more lessons coming. You do not want to miss out. That's all I got. I'll see you soon, Money Badgers. Take care. Adios.